Ambassador, Mr. Chairman, our distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Nixon and I wish to express our appreciation to all of the organizations that have participated in sponsoring this meeting today. And in expressing that appreciation, we also thank all of you who have attended this meeting. This is, I believe, one of the largest dinners, or luncheons, should I say, that we have attended during the course of our travels around the world. And we feel particularly gratified and honored that so many of you have taken the time from your busy schedules to come out on this occasion to greet us as you have. I wish that in the course of our stay here, we would have the time to meet each of you personally as we did today. And what is it? Ask yourselves that question. There is only one threat to the peace of the world today. That is the one which is presented by the international communist movement with its power center in the Soviet movement, in the Soviet Union. Look at the situation in the world. If it weren't for the communist threat, there would have been no war in Korea, and you would have peace in Korea today. If it weren't for the communist threat, there would be no war in Indochina today. If it weren't for the communists, there would be no war in Malaya today. If it were not for the communist threat, the nations of the world could embark on a program of disarmament. There is not another nation or a people in the world today that any nation needs to fear as far as the threat of war is concerned. Now, if we want peace during this period of international tension, we must remain militarily stronger than the communist nations. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, from the standpoint of the United States, we recognize that we must maintain our military strength at an adequate level. And we are doing that, let me say. I know that some of you may have read of the cuts which were made in the military budget during the last session of the Congress. But I think that you should also realize that despite those cuts, taking, for example, the Air Force, in which a cut of $5 billion in the budget was made, that despite those cuts, that at the end of 1955, the United States will have more planes ready for combat than they would have if the program of the previous administration had continued in effect. And so you might ask the question, if the rest of Asia falls under communist domination, Japan also will fall under communist domination. And therefore, if Japan desires to be free, desires to be independent, as I know the great majority of the people of Japan do desire, it is essential that they work with the free nations in maintaining adequate defenses and adequate strength which will ensure that the communist aggression goes no further than it has already gone in this section of the world. And that, of course, brings me to a second point. I've had the opportunity to inspect some of the national safety forces here in Japan. They are, in every respect, and may I say that General Hall shares the opinion that I'm going to express in this respect. They are, in every respect, excellent forces